welcome back to my G1 Retro Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the episode Fire on the Mountain, which features the return of my boy Skyfire. In this episode, the Autobots finally go back and dig my boy Skyfire out of the ice, just so that they can have him fly them to Peru without paying for airfare. Although, to be fair, who really wants to fly right now anyway? Also, they give him pets because he's such a good boy. We begin this episode with Starscream and Thundercracker attacking a steel mill.
Hello! Dad, why did you bring me to a gay steel mill?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, it's not that kind of steel mill. So Starscream uses his boob missiles to, "Hey, what are you doing, Starscream? You trying to get me demonetized here? You can't show those puppies on YouTube." No, but seriously, this is another one of those random things that would be homaged in future Starscream toys. Namely his Robot Masters and Masterpiece figures. Not to mention Cyberverse as well, although they kind of more come out of his midsection rather than his actual chest. I guess boob missiles became too risque for today's cartoons. So the Decepticons travel to Peru to investigate an Incan legend.
Then if the rest of the legend is accurate, I will soon be master of the Crystal of Power.
Crystal of Power. Why does that sound like something from He-Man or She-Ra? So they find the Crystal of Power, which again looks like another big piece of kryptonite. Man, what is it with these Skyfire episodes and kryptonite? Apparently Laserbeak can fly in space, as we see that he spots Teletran 1's Sky Spy spying on the Decepticons, which Megatron destroys with his new weapon.
Yes, of course. I have you to thank for this worthless weapon frame.
Don't blame Starscream, Megatron. I hear that 26% of robots over 4 million years old have similar issues with their metal not being as sturdy as it used to be. Also, I love Skywarp's laugh here. As the Decepticons go to steal more steel, the Autobots dig and thaw out Skyfire.
Head back to Autobot headquarters on the double. You gotta pick up Brawn and Windcharger and fly to the Andes Mountains.
Seriously? No, sorry we left you in the ice all this time. You just order him to go pick up the other Autobots and fly them to Peru? Also, wasn't Skyfire in the Arctic? So Wheeljack and Sideswipe went all the way there just to get Skyfire, to then fly them back to Autobot base, which is supposed to be in Washington State, as the volcano the Ark crashed in, Mount St. Hilary, is based on Mount St. Helens, and then he's going to fly them to Peru. It seems like it was really out of their way to go thaw out Skyfire just so he could fly them to Peru. But hey, I'm just glad that my boy Skyfire is back in the show. So Brawn and Windcharger think that they can take on Megatron, Soundwave, and Reflector all by themselves? Well, I'll give them this. These little mini-bots have a lot of courage.
You must have a blowout in your logic circuits. There's no way a midget like you can handle the mighty Megatron.
Whoa, hey Megatron, that is not PC. I believe they like to be called little people.
Finish him, Soundwave.
Yikes. Good thing Brawn was able to dodge Megatron's blasts. No telling what kind of damage that would have done if it actually hit him. Well, Brawn, Windcharger, and Skyfire execute a pretty cool maneuver, and they head back to base to pick up more Autobots. Which, why didn't they bring more in the first place? Also, it's weird, but I kind of like how Optimus is giving Skyfire some pets here for some reason. I also like how Brawn not only manages to steal Megatron's fusion cannon, but he also hits him with it.
No one does that to me and continues to function.
Wow, Brawn's got some ball bearings of chrome steel to pull that off.
On the other hand, if I let you wreck our new weapon, Megatron might blame Starscream, which would make me very happy.
Thundercracker, you putrid traitor!
Starscream's certainly one to talk about treachery. When Starscream and Thundercracker are dragging Skyfire into the temple, there's a brief animation error where he's colored like Skywarp. This is somewhat reminiscent of the Japanese exclusive repaint of classic Jetfire, Dark Skyfire. Perhaps that toy was inspired by this animation error. Although apparently this error only exists in the Rhino version of this episode. Although, again, I was originally watching this episode for review on Tubi, which seems to use the same footage as Rhino, which features various other animation errors in this episode. So Spike repairs Skyfire, and he and Bumblebee return to the battle outside.
Optimus, old buddy, this is what separates the Autobots from the robot chickens. Decepticons, attack! What?
And you guessed it, once again the Decepticons are defeated by the Autobots. This time in large part to my boy Skyfire.
What's the matter, fearless leader? You and Starscream look real geeky. Maybe the Autobots aren't such wimps after all.
Wow, I'm surprised Megatron took that from Thundercracker. I'd think that he would turn him into molten slag for an insult like that. Also, where are you going, Reflector? The Decepticons are headed that way.
Thanks, Auto Buddies. You know, it sure is nice when one of my inventions actually works.
Aww, Auto Buddies. That's too cute. I might have to steal that.
And when we get back home, I want Bumblebee to meet my brother's convertible. We call her Juanita. And I think the two of them will get along just fine.
Aw, shucks.
Juanita is just a normal car, right? So then I don't know what use it would be to introduce Bumblebee to her, but okay. So this was a pretty decent episode. I'm glad that Skyfire is back. Can't wait to see more of him in future episodes. It's weird how both this episode and the previous one feature Skyfire, and they also had these big green kryptonite-looking crystals that were linked to the Earth's core. Makes me wonder if there was something going on here that maybe could have been explored further. It's also interesting how in this episode, Skywarp actually calls Starscream Screamer.
Have a good time playing Crystal, Nerd Screamer. Bye!
I had always thought that was just a nickname that the fans had given Starscream, but nope, it actually originates from the cartoon itself. I like how Thundercracker seems to almost betray the Decepticons. Apparently in the original synopsis for this episode, he actually did fully switch sides and even helped Spike repair Skyfire. Sadly, this was not how it turned out in the final episode. Which is a shame because I seem to have a thing for Transformers who start off as bad guys and then become good guys, like Skyfire and Dinobot. But could you imagine what that would have meant for future episodes? How interesting would it have been if in the next episode, the Autobots were debating amongst each other whether they should let Thundercracker stay or not? It kind of reminds me of when Starscream joined the Autobots in Transformers Armada. I think Thundercracker is starting to become my favorite Seeker. Or at least my favorite boy Seeker. I loved him in Cyberverse, and I liked him in this episode. And don't let my OC fool you, I do like the color blue too. Now I'm wondering, what would she look like in blue? She kinda looks like a Toronto Maple Leafs version of herself. Oh my god, how cute would she look next to Whirl? My two bestest blue girls. No, I gotta stay true to my boy Skyfire. Although, maybe if the Leafs are ever in the playoffs again or something, I could do some end screens with her in blue. You know, go Leafs go and all that. Oh, and maybe I could get a commission done where she's in the stands watching a Leafs game. Or one of her actually playing hockey in Leafs colors, maybe playing against Sari or someone. Oh man, there needs to be more hockey in Transformers. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked here. So yeah, this was kind of an okay episode. What about you? What did you think of this episode, Fire on the Mountain? As always, let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next week for War of the Dinobots. You know, it's funny. We had a Skyfire episode, then a Dinobots episode. And now we have another Skyfire episode, followed by another Dinobots episode. It's almost like there's a pattern here. Well, see you then.